We are starting off the month on absolute fire. We ended up going 6 for 7 on the day, making multiple 100% profit returns, buying cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts, and selling them in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the market. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to be breaking down the overall trades that we ended up making on the day. We're going to be starting off with the newly updated, very important market price action analysis. So, heading into tomorrow, this is what I want you to be aware of. I took a look at the overall daily chart on the SPY, and I'm seeing a pattern where the SPY can potentially spike back to today's highs. So it can potentially spike back to 554.43. And then we're going to have this make or break zone, 555 to 556, which can potentially trap the bulls and be a great opportunity to buy put options. So this is what I want you to be aware of heading into tomorrow at market open. Based off this daily pattern that I'm seeing, whenever SPY is at key support and it forms this green trend reversal candlestick, it likes to spike back up towards the highs, which is going to be at 554.43. So if we are hanging around key support, the gap breakdown level, 549, or if we are hanging around the previous closing price, 551, you're going to want to be buying call options and riding this back up to 554 plus, right? So I gave you the buy zone for calls. I gave you the overall levels in terms of the highest level possible to consider calls. I really wouldn't really consider it at this level. This is like the overall breakout level, right? And another reason why I wouldn't consider it at this level is based off of what I'm seeing, this can be a phenomenal opportunity to buy put options at 555 to 556. But this is going to be a crazy level to keep an eye on. This is going to be the breakout resistance level, right? I gave you guys the dip buying opportunity levels. This is going to be the breakout resistance level, the much higher level. This pre-market low from August 28th, it's going to be at 553.38. If that breaks out, reacts to support, bullish 30-minute floor, we're going straight up to 555 to 555.50, right? And like I said, based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, you need to pay attention to the 555, 555.50, and 556 zone. This is going to be a make or break zone where the bulls are likely going to get trapped first. So once this zone hits, if you're seeing bearish 30-minute confirmations, you're going to want to try to buy put options at this particular zone. You can see right here, once 555 reacts to support, we get a very strong move to the upside into the 560s, very strong move to the upside into the 560s. We have a gap that is waiting to fill above at 565, the best level to buy put options at. And if you're seeing a bearish daily candlestick at that overall level, you can swing trade puts right before the market closes. And then you could see the next resistance level below would be at 560. This is the gap breakout level, make or break resistance. So 555 to 556 zone is likely going to be a bearish zone. If it's reacting bearish, right, this is a great situation in terms of confirmations. You can see right here, red, green, red. That's a bearish pattern on the 30-minute chart. Starts to sell off. Red, green, red. The new highs of these 30 minutes are literally forming lower highs at the previous lows, lows of these 30 minutes, right? See how it cracks support and it's forming lower highs with the red, green, red bearish pattern. Starts to sell off. We nailed puts on that particular play for 100% plus, right? So that's what I need you to be aware of heading into tomorrow. Call focused towards 549 to 551, previous closing price. 553, make or break resistance. We break above. We're going straight into that 555 to 556 zone. And then that is going to be a zone that's make or break resistance where it's likely going to be a good opportunity for puts. If it reacts bearish, we're dropping back down. If it reacts bullish, we're heading up to 560. Based off of what I'm seeing, with the daily pattern, as long as we're not having a massive gap down, the SPY is going to try to spike to 555 to 556 and then try to sell off. So if we're opening up with a massive gap up above 555, wait for a bearish 30-minute confirmation. Wait for a bearish 30-minute pattern to buy puts on. If we are opening up flat towards 552 or a small gap down into the 549 range, wait for bullish 30-minute confirmations in between that range. The next level is going to be 553.50. The next level above that is going to be 555. Now, if we are having a massive gap down, this is what I want you to be aware of heading into tomorrow's price action. So in terms of the make or break support level, it's going to be 549. Once that cracks, we're going to be on track to hit 544 to 543.50. If we go back throughout the overall chart, as you can see right here, once we crack this key 549 support, it's going to test the green, red, green previous breakout gap and go level. So once we test 544.30, it's likely going to bounce and react to support. And it's very close to a gap that is waiting to fill below where the SPY can have a reversal. So that's going to be the dip buying zone if the SPY turns very bearish, maintaining under 549. Like I said, man, we could have a small drop under 549. But if it flips back to bullish and doesn't go too much under that, we're going to consider buying call options above that 549 and riding this up to 555. So just understand that 555 dip buying opportunity is mainly going to be relevant if the SPY hasn't hit 555. If we're opening up at 555, it's going to be more of a put opportunity. But later into the day, if you are seeing bullish 30-minute confirmations at 549 to 551, you can consider calls, man. It's just a little bit already played out, but you can consider it with the right confirmations at the right time. I would still consider it in terms of an oversold day. This is going to be the day trade analysis preparing you in terms of the market tomorrow. Now, like I said, man, in terms of swing trading opportunities, puts at 565, all-time high gap waiting to fill above. We have another gap that is waiting to fill above at 563.60, and then 555, 556 make or break. If it breaks out, reacts to support, very unlikely on initial reaction to happen, meaning very unlikely that it breaks out and reacts to support the first time we go back. I think we're going to drop first, so wait for those bearish 30-minute confirmations, right? So if it does, whenever it decides to react bullish, we go to 560. If we break above 560, we fill the gap, right? And if 555 to 556 reacts bearish, we're dropping back down to 552, below that 549. And then in terms of 549, like I said, we go into that and it's maintaining bearish, forming lower highs, 544 to 543.70. Swing trading zone is down here. And then the swing trading zone is up here for puts, down here for calls. That is the overall game plan. Use this information heading into the market open tomorrow. Throughout the day, you should not have a problem having a phenomenal green day if you're using the 30-minute confirmations in the unique trading strategies that I've created that I'm teaching you. Now, let's get straight into the trades that we ended up making today, man. I absolutely crushed it during Power Hour. You guys are well aware. I trade best during the Power Hour trading session. In terms of my own personal trading, I tend to sway away from the market open. Inside of Team Roar, I will follow some of the overall morning trades because nearly every single morning trading session is green inside of Team Roar, man. But in terms of the Power Hour play, I'm going to break that down towards the end of the video. It was phenomenal, man. These calls that I bought went up nearly 300% in less than 30 minutes. We absolutely crushed it, man. And we held those calls for the massive win. So let's get into it, man. So in terms of the overall trades, you can see inside of Team Roar, every single day, you get access to a game plan with updated levels to go long and to go short. Now, in terms of the first trade that was made on the day, we ended up buying 227.50 Tesla calls for 50 cents. Inside of Team Roar, we mainly trade 0-date options, and we go far out of the money. 3 to 5 legs out at times. We are known for selling them in the money 90% of the times. Sometimes you're going to see us trade stocks as long as they are cheap on the contracts. So in terms of these Tesla contracts, man, these don't expire until Friday, but we went so fucking far out, they were cheap. We bought the Tesla calls. 50 cents a contract, 227.50 strike, right? So at 9:32 a.m., we pull up the option chart. This is where we ended up getting in on those Tesla call options. You're going to see, man, we got in towards the exact lows on those contracts right here at 9:32 a.m., literally 2 minutes after the low of day. These contracts that we got in at the 50-cent range, they went all the way to 203 a contract, man. Now, with that being said, in terms of the overall trade, we ended up exiting these contracts at the speed of fucking light. We ended up exiting these contracts, as you can see right here. We ended up closing out the position at 9:55 a.m. at 127 cents a contract, right? So as you can see, as soon as we got out of those overall, of the Tesla calls, we got out right here. As soon as we got out, just a couple minutes later, a massive crash, right? Right around that time, there was news throughout the market that caused a massive move. But with that being said, man, in terms of the next trade, let me walk you through this. We had 2 morning trades. It was a very successful morning, as always. And we ended up buying 555 SPY calls for 54 cents a contract at 9:35 a.m. So if we go to 555 SPY calls at 9:35 a.m., you're going to see we got a phenomenal entry towards the lows. This is where we got in right here. And then in terms of where we closed out and exited the position, we ended up closing out that trade and exiting that position in the 80-cent range, man. The first trade was over 100%. This one, 50%. It's nonstop fucking win over here, man. The second trade, the first trade on Tesla was 150%. The second trade, 50% plus, man. It is nonstop fucking winning over here, printing out the speed of fucking light. And then when we exit the trade, we give you the full breakdown recap in terms of exactly what the chart looked like. Now, in terms of the third win on the day, let's buy 554 calls for 50 cents a contract. We bought these calls at 11:31 a.m. And in terms of this overall trade, we're going to go to 554 calls, and I'm going to walk you through this. So this is where we ended up getting in on those 554 calls. We got in towards the exact lows right here, and we ended up adding to the position. And then we ended up selling right here for another phenomenal win. That is 3 wins on the day, man. Everything it is that we're doing in terms of our entry, where we add to winners, where we set our profit stops, our real-time market analysis, this is all alerted 100% in real time. We have a 0-day options trading alert system. With that being said, in terms of the next win on the day, I'm going to walk you through this, man. 550 SPY puts for 48 cents a contract, right? So at 1:04 p.m., we ended up buying these 550 puts, as you can see right here. I'm going to walk you through this. So we got in these puts towards the exact lows on SPY. I'm going to walk you through this, man. So if we go to 1:04 p.m., you're going to see we got a phenomenal entry. This is where we got in terms of the puts. And then we ended up closing out and exiting that position. As you can see right here, this was a very long hold. This was a very long hold on this particular trade. We ended up exiting as soon as power hour started at 94 cents a contract, man. It is nonstop winning inside of Team Roar, man. So in terms of the overall, trades that I ended up making on my own personal trades, I'm going to walk you through that. The first trade that I made during the middle of the day was a loss. I bought calls in the 60-cent range. I decided to cut it. Normally, we just let them expire worthless, but the chart looked very, very bearish. I thought there was no shot of them going in the money. So I figured I'll just exit the position. I got out at 14 cents. In terms of my own personal trade, I started off the day with 1 loss. Then I finished very, very strong in the green. These calls that I got went up over 300%. I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to explain to you why I ended up buying these call options, man. This was literally the exact same trade that I made on call options towards that 549 level. So let me walk you through this, man. So in terms of the power hour trading session, you guys are well aware that I trade best during the power hour trading session. As you can see, as soon as that last 30-minute candlestick ended up opening up right here at 3:29 p.m., right? Second to last 30-minute candlestick's about to close. I ended up buying 551 SPY calls at 39 cents a contract, right? So I ended up buying these calls towards the exact lows, these 551 SPY calls right here towards the exact lows. And then I literally held them all the way up to the close. And then I got out at 3:58 p.m., right? So these calls I got in right here towards the exact lows of this candle. And they ended up going to 115. These went from 30 cents to 115, man. These fucking calls went up 300% plus profit return at the speed of fucking light. I ended up selling at 3:58 p.m. G-Roar ended up selling at the exact fucking peak, man. It was a phenomenal trade. So why did I end up buying these SPY call options? You guys are well aware that I'm known for trading best during the power hour trading session. The reason why I bought these call options was it was nearly identical in terms of the trade that I made yesterday on call options. Literally the same exact trade setup, except this time it looked even more bullish, right? So in terms of the bullish confirmation that I was seeing, I'm well aware that this 549 level, and if you go back and you watch the video that I posted yesterday, I made this very clear, if there's not much time left on the clock and we are just sitting at key support, and you can see 549, this is make or break key support. If 549 holds, you can see the SPY quickly spikes back up in the 30-minute chart to 551. That's how you measure the overall move, right? Even yesterday it spiked all the way to 553 from the 549 level. So the point is, this is a very strong support level. It's the gap breakdown level. It's going to continue to spike at that level with the right 30-minute confirmations. So for those of you in Team Roar, you guys are well aware. I made it very, very clear throughout the middle of the day. I was going to be focused on buying the dips at key support levels. That was my game plan. So obviously when I'm seeing these 30-minute wick lows, right? You have this 30-minute wick low from yesterday at this 549 level, right? Once it tests, it reacts as support, it explodes up green. Once it tests, it reacts as support, it explodes up green. So I'm thinking to myself, man, this is going to continue to react. It's going to continue to react bullish. Once we drop back down to this wick at this 550 level and then the 549 overall support level, once we test back for the first time, is likely going to bounce first, and it's likely going to start to test the high of these 30-minute wicks that were not tested. And I showed you throughout the history, if we bottom at 549 within 30 minutes left on the shot clock, especially during the most volatile, hour, the power hour trading session, mainly during that 3:30 to 4 p.m. session, is gonna spike to 551 to 552, man. And with that being said, there was a green bullish 30-minute confirmation, and it hit the 549 level. So I figured it was very, very likely that it was going to continue to run and close very strong, very green, and very bullish, man. And also, if you've been studying overall trends using the 10-day, 30-minute chart, there's been a lot of situations recently where the last 30-minute candle tends to be a phenomenal dip buying opportunity, man. So you got to pay attention to these overall short-term trends. That was the overall recap in terms of the overall, SPY call situations. In terms of opportunities for puts, man, I made it very, very clear that 554 to 555 was the make or break level. So the SPY was already selling off on the day at 550. And if we're just going to rock it straight back up to 555, and then we're going to get this red bearish 30-minute confirmation, it's likely going to start to drop. And it's likely going to start to retest the low of these wicks. So in terms of a confirmation for puts, once this 30-minute confirmation closed red, this was a nice opportunity for puts. And then you could see it was forming lower highs, maintaining resistance slightly under that previous closing price at time with more red bearish 30-minute confirmations, right? You also have this previous support right here to react as a resistance. So we ended up going 6 for 7 on the day. We are starting off this month on absolute fucking fire, man. You tell me, man, for $10,000, what group, who do you know, has a 90% plus success rate buying cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts? How far out are we going? 3 to 5 legs out at times. You saw how far out this trade on Tesla was. Look at this, man. It's very unusual to go that far out. But like I said, man, we buy cheap contracts, man. So in terms of Tesla, zero dates aren't until Friday. But we go super far out. And for us, we sell for massive percentage gains, man, typically in the money. Like I said, we're going extremely far out. We are selling in the money 90% of the times, right? Who do you know is doing this consistently, printing at the speed of fucking light nonstop, and is not only giving you the real-time trade alerts and the market analysis, but has created a system that can make everyone money? In terms of the system, we set profit stops, we add to winners, we do not use stop loss. Our max risk per trade is what we are putting in to the entire value of the contracts, right? These contracts are so cheap that we can do that. A lot of traders, when they put in their max risk, they use a stop loss because they're sizing in so big, because they're trading expensive in the money options or they're buying shares on stocks. These contracts are so cheap. And the beauty of options is, it's true, options will give you options. But in terms of the options that give you the most options within the market, to create a very strategic, cutting-edge system is far out of the money options. And one of the reasons why is they're so cheap and they are so low risk, meaning you can put in your max risk per trade, whether that's 1%, 2%, 3% of your account, right? Obviously, the smaller you start, the more you have to risk, right? But like I said, this is the lowest barrier to entry in terms of trading, man. This is your main shot. This is the best shot you got, man. And what you can do is you can put your max risk in per trade. We let the contracts expire worthless. It does not matter if the contracts go to zero. 70% of the time, when our contracts are down, we call these the dead plays, the ones that drop over 50%. 70% of the time, they come back to life. Later on throughout the day, we hold. We don't use a stop loss. And they go in the money, and we sell in the money for a win. And in terms of some background to the system, we quickly add to winners. When we are up a little bit, in terms of, well, up being a little bit, that could be 10%, 15%, 20%. We are known for selling them in the money for massive percentage gains, the biggest percentage gains within the market, 100, 200, 300% returns. So when we're up a little bit, what we do is we add to winners to increase the winnings. When we are getting a winning confirmation as we are winning, it's very likely that we're going to keep on winning, because when we win, we hit big percentage gains. So we add to winners to increase the winning. And then shortly after we add to the wins, we set a profit stop. The profit stop is going to secure our new average cost. It is going to protect us from going green to red. And we move our profit stop up to ensure that we do not go green to red on the trade, and also to ensure that if the market has a big move against us, we're going to get stopped out for profits and not give back the bulk of the move, right? It protects you in terms of situations from going green to red, and it protects you in terms of situations while you're maximizing your wins. But if it has a move against you, you're not going to lose the bulk of your profit because you get stopped out for overall profits, right? So that is some of the background in terms of the real-time options trading alert system that we've created. Now, in terms of the results, it's been absolutely phenomenal, man. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the same faces. I'm seeing the same members coming back every single day, man. We got people in here consistently making $500 to $1,000 plus a day, man. And like I said, you'll see rich people optimize for this trading style because they prefer to risk and pay less on their option contracts to make the biggest percentage gains within the overall market, man. If you know how to hold like we do for the massive wins, why wouldn't you optimize for this overall system? It doesn't make sense to go in the money and to win small and use stop losses and get stopped out, man. We don't use stop losses over here. Our max risk per trade is the fucking stop loss. Our contracts going to fucking zero and expiring worthless is the fucking stop loss, man. There is nothing out there available like this in the market where you can enter a trade and not get stopped out and always have the chance and opportunity to sell that option contract in the money, man. You're seeing it. The market's on fucking fire, man. 3 to 5 legs out. That's far out, but that's fucking nothing, man. SPY has days where it's moving 10, 12, 14 fucking points, man. It has the entire day to go in the money. And we're known for timing our trades fucking phenomenal, man. But you'll see at times we're holding trades for several fucking hours, man. And they tend to just go back in the money. It tends to work out, man. During that time, data's gonna crush us and the contracts can drop a lot. But if we're selling in the money, we're going from red to green. We're making big percentage gains regardless of the dead plays dropping, man. Like I said, 70% of the times, the dead plays come back to life and go in the money. So if you're not getting stopped out, you're winning and you're selling in the money as you're holding through that overall pain. With that being said, man, in terms of the results, it's absolutely phenomenal, man. This is just from today, man. I see many members, man, $1,400 profit, $700 profit, man. We have many members who are consistently crushing it on a regular basis, man. We are starting off September on absolute fucking fire. So for those of you who are serious about making money, it's the first link down below within the description. We trade these and we trade nonstop. Market open session, middle of the day, power hour. We have a lot of traders in here. They're not too interested in being a part of the community. They literally just follow the trades and they just call for the day. And a lot of those traders do it during the morning session. Some of them will come back during the power hour trading session. If you're already green on the day, you should not be risking more than 30 to 50% of your overall profits on the day, right? We have a rule. There is no going green to red when you're up nicely on the day, right? But we have a lot of traders. They just take the morning trades and they're done within the first 30 minutes and they just walk away. And then if they want to, they can risk, 30, 50% of their profits on the day during the power hour trading session, man. But those two best sessions are during the power hour trading session and during the morning trading session. And like I said, man, this is the best strategy and system you can possibly use for small accounts, man. You got to think of people with small accounts, man, because what are they going to do? If you only have a couple $1,000s, what is going to be your way to get to the 5-figure to 6-figure range, man? It's extremely hard if you have a small account. We all know you have to use a cash account. That's first things first. You need to make multiple trades. There's no way you're going to be able to do it on margin. You have to use a cash account and you have to trade something that's cheap. But in terms of penny stocks and all these other things that are very, very cheap, they typically require you to put in a lot of capital, which means you set a tight stop loss and you have a small win. With this, it's very cheap. And it's very low risk, and it's the biggest percentage gains, man. You can make 1,000% gains. This is the lowest barrier to entry, man, and there's no stop loss. Like I said, in terms of growing a small account, This is literally, in terms of how I look at it, the only shot of possibly even growing a small account. And you use a cash account, and we're buying contracts under 50 cents, man. The average prices we're paying for these contracts are below $50, man. So if you have $1,000, one contract is 5% of the overall account, right? Obviously, a good amount to start with in terms of doing this, a good cushion to have is $2,500, right? But we have a lot of people, they come, they join less than $1,000. We have some people, I've seen it, $100 to $800, $250 to $1,000 plus. I've seen those results in here. But obviously, if you're starting that low, you're coming in here to gain more of an experience and to kind of learn this new feel and new trading style, right? You're not expecting to make an absolute fortune, but it's a start and you have to get started somewhere. And then you can add to your portfolio. If you don't have a lot of money, you can add to your portfolio, try to set some money aside, add to your portfolio every single week or every single month, just a little bit. It all adds up in terms of these zero date option contracts, man. So like I said, these are just the results from the day, man. It's nonstop winning, man. And we just broke over 100 reviews on the overall website. If you want to join us, first link down below within the description, man. And like I said, the testimonials I'm seeing throughout this group, man, there's nothing like this community, man. This is really unique and this is really special, man. Like I said, you're not going to find anything out there within the overall market in terms of a 90% plus success rate, buying cheap bar out of the money option contracts, 3 to 5 legs out, selling in the money 90% of the time, with a system where there's no stop losses. We add to winners and we set to profit stops. This is not just a trade alert group. This is a system that can make other people money, right? So like I said, man, there's nothing out there like this on the overall planet, man. And I'm telling you, this fucking community is absolutely amazing, man. So I see it every day, man. People are absolutely crushing it. If you do want to join us and you do want to be a part of this overall community, it's going to be the first link down below. Within the description, man. We have a member recently joined. His goal is to get all of his friends into the program, man. He said he joined a lot of other Discords and it was a scam. It wasn't for him in terms of what he experienced, but he's saying that this group is the real overall deal, right? And I'm telling you, man, the results are crazy, man. They absolutely love the program. I absolutely love the program as well. Seriously, the call outs are insane. Hoping everyone in here gets to that level one day where you can trade on this overall level. This community is seriously a blessing. So like I said, man, in terms of getting to this level where you can't actually trade like this and you're not just following the overall trades, when we take the trades, just to give you some tips in terms of that, right? In order to get better at trading and to learn how to trade, you do have to actually trade. Trading alongside us is going to help you become a better trader in terms of adding some education to it. Make sure that you're watching these videos, right? Not all of the trades, but some of the trades will reflect on the overall strategies that I'm teaching you guys in real time. Not all of them. Some of the trades are just purely based off of intuition in the heart of cards. It has nothing to do with the overall strategy. It's literally just intuition, a feeling, a flow state of mind, which is very real. And you always want to have that. Even if you have a technical strategy that works, you always want to apply that in a sense, right? But you're going to see in terms of some of the trades, if you're looking at multiple time frames, right, especially my trades, the 30-minute chart, you're always going to see my entries are like right before a 30-minute candlestick closes or right as a 30-minute candlestick opens, right? If my entries are that close, it typically has to do with a 30-minute chart, right? So look at multiple time frames. You can look at the 30-minute chart, look at the 1-minute chart, apply everything it is that I'm teaching in the videos, right? And then again, just trading and studying the real-time market analysis, looking at the trade recaps posted in the group, with the real-time market commentary, you will begin to learn with this, man. But in terms of like learning and doing this on your own, in terms of my experience to master this high of level, if you guys have been following my overall journey, in terms of, a little bit over a year ago, I was mainly focused on scalping for smaller wins, going in the money. In terms of to get to this overall level, it took over a decade in experience of trading nonstop, putting in over 10,000 plus hours of trading to get to this overall level, man. And it's a crazy experience. In terms of my experience, it's a crazy experience and it's a crazy overall story, man. But one of the things that helped me get to this overall level was focusing on my trading, cutting off all distraction, going very personal, laser focused on my overall trading. And like I said, fusing with G-Roar and working with G-Roar, he has helped me tremendously in terms of mastering this overall style of trading, man. It clicked very, very closely when we cut off all distractions and we got rid of all negativity and negative people within the chat and we just focused on working, on ourselves and working together. That's when it really got to that level for me. But like I said, it took over 10 years to get to that overall point, man. So with that being said, if you are serious in being a part of a group that has mastered 0-day option contracts. It's the first link down below within the description. In terms of this style of trading, that's what you have to understand. This is a style of trading. This is not gambling. This is not YOLOing. This is a style of trading. Everyone has a style of trading, but we took it up a notch by not only mastering in terms of what we believe is the best style of trading for not just small accounts, but also large accounts, but we turned it up a notch by creating a system that can make other people money, not just by giving callouts, entry and exit, real-time entry, real-time market analysis, real-time exits, real-time profit stops, where to set the profit stops. We tell you where to set the profit stops. We don't even need to tell you when we exit the position because you'll get profit stopped out. It's self-sufficient in that sense. I'm more known of selling into the moves because I have levels and key times and overall 30-minute strategies that work fairly well. In terms of my main system, I really don't need a profit stop, but you do have to set one in a sense. But I'm more known for selling into the overall moves. Everyone has different parts to their overall systems, right? But like I said, man, it's perfect for small accounts. There is literally it's the lowest risk that you can experience within the overall market. The beauty of this is, man, it allows you to do something different. It allows you to no longer have a stop loss and to have a chance of winning by selling in the money, man. Like I said, those dead plays that drop 50, 60, 70%, they come back to life 70% of the times and go in the money. So you just got to hold the fucking play, man. Like I said, there's nothing out there like this within the market. If you want to experience something special, and like I said, what makes us special is we have a 90% plus success rate, buying far out of the money option contracts. We sell them in the money 90% of the time. We've created a system that can make other people money. 70% of the time when the dead plays drop, 50, 60, 70%, they come back to life, they go in the money. We do not use stop losses. We add to winners. We set profit stops to secure our winnings and also to ensure that we do go green to red, right? This is a special trading alert system, man. So if you want to be a part of this community, it's the first link down below within the description. I would highly recommend that you try this out. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off. We're going to absolutely crush it, man. This month, we are starting off on absolute fucking fire, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing like this, man. Look, man, you tell me, where are you going to find something like this, man? Givor, he's crushing it all fucking day. I'm coming in middle of the day. I'm coming in power hour, crushing it. It's nonstop fucking win over here. We winning over here. We have a real-time 0-day options trailer system. There's nothing like this on the fucking planet. That's why the offer's there. And whenever we call out the fucking offer, nobody takes the offer, man. We say it all the time. For $10,000, who do you know has a 90% plus success rate doing this? That's created a real-time 0-day options trailer system. This does not exist. This is the highest level and the highest tier of trading, man. 98% of traders who optimize for this style of trading, they all lose fucking money. Over here, we're winning non-fucking stop, man. I see the testimonials, non-fucking stop. They're saying the trades are universal, man. They're saying this is a universal style of fucking trading, man. It's non-stop fucking winning over here, man. We enter a trade. I was in those fucking calls. It went from 40 to 30. People go silent. They think it's gonna die out. It goes to 120. All we do is fucking win, man. It's non-stop fucking winning over here, man. So if you want to gain access to our community, to our real-time trading alert system, it's the first link down below within the description. I will see you guys heading into the market open tomorrow.